turn the chair to a throne. I'm a king and that's why I start hard. I put my whole city on.
You are now tuned into First Round 5.
If I didn't start hard. And every night is a premiere. If I ever disappear, best believe I'm coming back. Start hard.
With your hosts, Justice General Radford, host of the Justice for All podcast, Jake Jordan, host of The Lowdown with Jake Jordan.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your favorite Friday night show. We are your favorite Friday night guys.
Oh man,
lights. And this is First Round 5, of course. I am Justice General Radford. That's my man Jake Jordan. We are your hosts for tonight. We have got some really dope stuff in store for you guys tonight. Some, cool games. We'll do some trivia, you know what I'm saying? We'll talk about the Bills' all-time drought team, especially in preparation for this Buffalo Bills NFL fan base, top 100 Buffalo Bills of all-time players coming to you guys, presented by Buffalo fan base, of course. Check out the premiere of that Monday night with Mafia Sports Support guys, and then check out the follow. We'll have an episode for you guys of the top. What is 100 to 76, and so that'll be up on YouTube Tuesday morning. So make sure you check that out. But what's going on, Jake? How you doing, my bro?
I am just so glad to be back in my cave, dude, and finally back to normal, all operations firing on all cylinders. And I thought, how about while I was bored at work today, we talked, let's maybe do some trivia. And I heard somebody float the idea, or maybe I saw something on Twitter where someone was like the all-time drought team. And I've always said that anything before 2015, when I really started getting into football, I don't know much about. So I did my research today to try to really see who should be in some of these positions. And I'm going to present them and we can have discussions about it. God knows how long that can take. Maybe who you'd put there, someone different in some positions. I think it's going to be awesome. But no, dude, I can't wait. I'm so glad to be back. And, let's do this thing, man.
Absolutely. And remember, guys, if you have different opinions about, what's going on in this drought team by either of us, me or Jake, you know what I'm saying? If you think one of us is wrong, we tripping, or you feel like you really agree with us, first of all, give us a like. Second of all, throw your comment in the chat and tell us how stupid or smart we sound. Of course, we always appreciate you guys' input. All right, so let's get into the drought first, and we'll do some trivia about midway through. Then we'll do more drought, and then we'll do trivia at the end.
Sure. And I think the best place to start with this is letting everybody know where I draw the line at this, right? Because I made two lists, and one of the lists was so hard to make because I said, no, I want players that never saw the playoffs ever. And that was kind of hard to do because there were some names like Richie Incognito and Eric Wood and some of those guys that did see the playoffs in their last year with the Bills. And then there's guys like Eric Molds that people would probably put on that all-time drought team, except he was on the 1999 team that made the playoffs for the Music City Miracle. So I had to draw my line at, I think the drought starts in 2000. So if a player was on the 1999 team that made the playoffs, they're disqualified. But if they made the 2017 playoff, the end of the drought team, I considered them for the list. So that's kind of what I did. So I guess we'll start out with the coach, dude. Who's the coach of the drought team? And I'm gonna tell you right now, there it was hard. I'm
Perry
letting you know.
Fuel.
I was thinking maybe Perry Fuel, but I thought even though he spurned us and I hate him because he did
Doug
it,
Marone.
it's Doug. It's got to be Doug Marone because
be
of
Doug
what
Marone.
he
Yeah.
went. Even what he went.
He almost
on
did
to go
it.
do. Yeah.
If he would have stayed one more season, he would have did it.
Yeah, I think so. So I think the coach for the Drought team would probably be Doug Marone because I can't say Wade Phillips because Wade Phillips was the coach of
On
the team
1999.
of the 1999 team. So I couldn't sit there and go and weigh those. So I had to go Doug Marone on that. Lot of lackluster coaches throughout the Drought, man. Like is
I will just say Perry Fuel and Thad Lewis didn't get their just due in terms of having an opportunity. I will say that.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think too when you think of like Anthony Lynn, you know, where he was the interim coach after we got rid of Rex. It's like he didn't really get a true shot with the Bills too, but then we saw what he did with the Chargers afterward, and you're like, maybe, you know,
Right. Because
whatever,
I remember that first season after he left us, we had Sean McDermott, and that was 2017. And the Chargers were like balling. The Chargers were so good, and everybody was like, Anthony Lynn's the man.
Oh
and
yeah, Phillip Rivers went
was
nuts
like,
that year.
Yeah, exactly. And the Buffalo Bills are garbage and blah blah blah. And people are like, "Oh my God, we should have tried harder to keep Anthony Lynn." And of course, gotta let history play out, folks.
Yeah, and I think that the best place, you know, to kind of start is with the coaches. Jason Taylor already, no love for Rex Ryan. Look, Rex Ryan was not terrible, right? Actually, I think out of all of the Drought coaches, he has the best win percentage.
I would say he's in second.
Yeah, I would have said that Rex Ryan, maybe just as a coach overall, he was a good players coach.
I actually would put Rex over Doug.
I don't know about that one because
that's tough.
Rex
I think it's close.
I think it's definitely close. Again, when you're comparing coaches that were mediocre for the Bills, you know, you're splitting hairs at that point. But now we're going to do some special teams. I want to kind of get the ones out of the way that are just kind of like, hey, let's talk about these guys. And then you get into the defense and the offense, right? So if you had to say who is the best kicker that the Bills had during the draft?
We really only had one kicker for it was Ryan Lindell for like 11, 12 years or something like that. And then I don't even know who came in. House Money. Steven Hauschka.
The guy I picked is the guy I picked is before Hauschka.
Christie?
Do you remember? Dan Carpenter.
I do remember Dan Carpenter.
Dan Carpenter had a leg, dude. That was kind of my thing. I saw Ryan Lindell, and I'm like, from extra point territory, that man was money. I think he only missed, one in his whole time? But I believe he was like 12 for 40-something for anything that was above 50 yards. And I was like, oh, if I'm putting this team up, and now again, I'm putting this all-time team up against the current Buffalo Bills, who do I want in that situation to where if he has to kick that long field goal, who's hitting it? Dan Carpenter, until he got like shook and hurt, was good. I like Dan Carpenter, so he's who I would have picked. Steve Christie, again,
he was on the playoff teams.
Yeah, he was on the playoff teams. Look, I would have loved to just gone out there and put a lot of those guys that were on those teams before, but I had to go. So I don't think you go wrong with putting Lindell on there. I think if you want someone with the big leg, you go Dan Carpenter. House Money was also really good, but again, his leg wasn't as strong. Like, he was money from a certain distance, but once he got...
Let me ask you this.
Sure.
Ryan Lindell was our kicker for like a decade, maybe, right? House Money was our kicker for, I think, a half a decade, probably a little more, maybe. Probably like I would say if I had to guess between 4 to 6 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Carpenter really wasn't our kicker for that long.
4 years.
So Carpenter was, or is House money?
From 2013 to 2016, Dan Carpenter was our kicker.
How many was House money?
Probably about the same, I would assume, right? Maybe he might have only been 3. Let me look up.
Oh, he was less than Carpenter.
Yeah. Let's look that up. I like how the first thing on Google is what happened to Steven Hauschka. Yeah. He was with the Bills for 3 seasons.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm comfortable with giving it to
yeah, I'd give it to Dan Carpenter, and that just like I liked Lindell, but I thought if I just want someone who's going to be able to hit it from, all right, Dan, we need you to hit
breakers.
Yeah. So I'm going Dan Carpenter there. That again, special teams was a little bit harder for me. There's some positions where it's just locked down, right? Like who the player is going to be at that position. Punter. I feel like this is one of those ones that felt locked down to me.
Yeah.
Who do you
really have no? I mean, that's easy. It's Brian Moorman.
That's exactly who I put down was Brian Moorman. It's
just the easiest position in the field.
Like you go through the whole list of punters that they had, and it's just like Brian Moorman is the guy who stands out above everybody else during the drought. So I was like, easy money. Brian Moorman is the punter. Now we're gonna do kick returners. Punt and kick returners. They are 2 different players.
Mm-hmm.
So at kick returner, we got Terrence McGee.
Not mad at that at all. The punt returner is obviously Roscoe Parrish.
And yes, the punt returner is Roscoe Parrish. I mean,
I like both of those.
Yeah, I think that there's nowhere that you can go wrong with those 2 guys, putting them at that position. They were both some of the best in Buffalo Bills history at that position when it comes to stat wise. I was like, it's a no-brainer. These guys have to be in those positions. So now we're going to do defense before we do any kind of trivia type stuff, right? We're going to do the defense, and we're going to save the offense for last because I feel like the offense is kind of, there's some names in there
controversial.
Yeah, maybe some people might not agree with it.
That's what we like.
That's what we like. So do you want to do something before we go into defense?
A trivia?
Yeah. Why not?
Let's get a couple trivia.
Let the people.
All right, cool.
Let them wait.
All right, cool. All right. So 5 Buffalo Bills players have made it into the Pro Hall of Fame during the 2000s. Which player was not among them? Okay. We've got Andre Reed, Thurman Thomas, Jim Kelly, Bruce Smith.
I think it's Jim. Because he retired before everybody else, I believe. So that would have made him eligible first.
Nope, it's Andre Reed.
Is it Andre?
It's Andre Reed.
Okay. I didn't know which one retired first, but I guess Jim Kelly. Yeah, Jim Kelly. That's what I thought because like he retired. I don't know if Andre Reed after he did go play somewhere else, right? He played in I think it was like Kansas City for a year. He went. Yeah, I think he played in Kansas City for 1 year after he left the Bills. I'll look it up just to make sure. But
all right,
there we go. Yeah, because he played until 2000. Oh, Washington.
Is that why? Is that why he was the last one?
Yeah, he had to be. Yeah.
Late eligibility, not necessarily because he wasn't like a first ballot.
Yeah.
All right.
Wait,
so
what was the question? Were you asking me who was the last one to get inducted?
No, I was saying which player didn't get inducted in the 2000s.
Oh, didn't get inducted in the. Oh, so yeah, Andre went in the 2010s. Right. Okay, yeah. All right, that makes sense. I misunderstood the question.
Right. In Super Bowl that's 25, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Super Bowl 25, the Bills became the first team in Super Bowl history to lose by what?
Ooh, okay. They were the first ones to lose by. Is it 2 points? The first to lose by 2 points?
1 point.
1 point. Oh, I forgot.
That was a good guess, though. That was a great guess.
I knew it had something to do with the points. I was like, man. All right. But see, I'm there. At least I'm around the answer. That's all I care about.
All right. This will be the last one before we move to defense.
Okay.
All right. Which former Buffalo Bills running back was also a member of the world record sprint relay team while going to University of South California? Your options: Booker Moore, Mike Dennis, O.J. Simpson, or Terry Miller.
Is it OJ?
Yeah, I
had to think of who went to USC.
I would have guessed that off the strength that I don't know any of the other three.
Yeah, well, I was just like,
USC.
He went to USC, so I was like, and he was good, so I was like, yeah, that's the big name. He's from USC. The other guys could have been from USC. I don't know, but
all right, let's make it an even 5 before we'll do 5 in between. All right.
Yeah.
What was the first season for the Buffalo Bills in the American Football League?
Oh, okay. In the AFL? Is it 1963?
Oh, Jake.
Did I miss it by 1 year?
60.
Okay, a couple of
years. He was in
the
ballpark.
I knew it was in the 60s. That was about it. Because my dad said he remembered going to the opening game when he was a kid. So
get the hell out of here. Are you serious?
Yeah, his dad took him. So
that's cool. All right. What was the final record for the Buffalo Bills in the 2007 season?
Probably 8-8.
Damn, Jake. Oh my God. Yo. Wow.
Or 7-9.
The cave, if this was there you go. If this was the cave, you'd be pissed. Yeah, you'd be right there with your points. So the answer is 7-9.
I remember I was putting together my 17-year process video when the Bills broke the drought. And I remember just looking through every single season and being astonished of how many times they finished 7-9 or 6-10. I was like, I'm so glad I wasn't watching football, because right now I watch basketball in the Orlando Magic. They had the first overall pick this year, but usually they're one of those middling teams every year. And I know how bad that pisses me off. So with football, it would have been a different level.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. That was our 5. That was our 5 questions. And we will do 5 more after we do this all-time. Oh, no. Drought Bills defense, all defense. All Drought Bills defense.
Sure.
Does that make sense? I think so.
Yeah. All right. So, and I feel like I have to press defensive ends. Do you kind of already know who it might be?
How many are we doing?
2. So there's
let's do Aaron Schobel.
Mm-hmm.
And wow. I'm gonna go Mario Williams.
Okay.
And it's either Aaron Schobel or Marcellus Wiley.
So I have Aaron Schobel and Mario Williams.
Okay.
That is who I have. Those defensive lines that those two were on were absolutely just
maniacs.
They were absolute maniacs. So there was no way I couldn't put those guys on there. I just couldn't. The first name that came to my mind was Mario Williams. I was like, Mario Williams getting that was such a big thing for the Bills, and everybody on the defensive line just
He
like it
performed.
improved. Yeah, it performed.
Yeah.
That defensive line was crazy. So a lot of those guys, you're gonna see them on this list because that was a damn good defensive line that was getting after people.
That was a pretty good. Well, actually, now I'm thinking about it, it really wasn't that good of a defense. It was just a damn good defensive line that made it look like a good defense.
Exactly. So now that we did the defensive ends, can you guess who the tackles are?
Kyle Williams and Pat Williams.
I put Marcel Darius.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. And who?
So
Kyle?
yeah, Marcel Darius and Kyle Williams.
That's a good one.
I don't remember exactly why I did not put Pat Williams there. I feel like really when I was looking at everybody's stats, I was just kind of like Darius. When I thought that Marcel Darius, when he was like, Jerry Hughes was one that I would have considered.
Oh, but he made the playoffs.
It's not just that I didn't. He made the playoffs prior to the drought winning season as well with the Bills. So or the drought ending season. So I wasn't even going to consider Jerry anyway, because when you look at Aaron Schobel's numbers, he's right behind Bruce Smith in sacks. So
damn, for real?
Yeah. So like,
Sheesh,
I wasn't even considering Jerry. If I had to pick two, Jerry might be 3, but I could not put him over Aaron Schobel.
Well, yeah, I would put Jerry over Marcellus Wiley. Yeah.
That's
fair.
Yeah. So
all right. Typically you get 3 defensive tackles though. So you could throw a Pat Williams in there.
Yeah, you could honorable mention Pat Williams.
Yeah.
There we go. Now we got corners, Justice. Some cornerbacks.
This one's tough. Okay. Gilmore and Nate Clements.
You got them right. So
yes, let's go.
Now I know a lot of people are going to be like, Gilmore? Why Gilmore? Like, look,
it was good.
Gilmore was a solid corner when he was with us. Yes, when he left and went to New England, he became like a stud. And the only reason I didn't put Antoine Winfield on this team is because Antoine Winfield was on the 1999 team that made the playoffs. That's it. If he didn't do that,
who would he replace?
I would have replaced Stephon Gilmore.
Okay.
So Stephon Gilmore would have been my
best.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
they both got Pizze when they left Buffalo.
Yeah.
Pizze.
Yes, sir. Yes, they did. And now I'm just gonna let you know, for safeties, I only did 1 each.
Okay.
Because safety play, I mean, you've got some names there, but there's some guys that just stand out above the rest. And I just
I thought you were. Are you gonna finish?
Oh, I didn't know. So I grouped that. I did free safety and then strong safety. So you can.
I'm gonna say Jairus Byrd.
Yes.
Dante Whitner.
No, but I was thinking of Dante Whitner.
Aaron Williams.
You brought him up pre-show, Justice. You said, "Oh, he's not on the list."
Oh, George Wilson.
George Wilson. Yeah, George Wilson. It was crazy because, man, George Wilson, I looked at his numbers. I did not know he was that good of a tackler.
George
My
Wilson
God.
like he was a linebacker playing safety.
Yeah. It was, and yeah, so Aaron Williams, look, if Aaron Williams played longer and had like I would have considered it again. Aaron Williams, kind of like
and George Wilson was like the captain of he was like the soul of that defense back then.
Yeah, so Aaron Williams was my guy on the outside looking in. So like if I did,
I feel like that's fair.
Yeah, I felt like that he's still one of those guys that, man, if injuries just didn't cut it short, man, like that would have he would have been a baller for our team, and he'd be on this list probably. So now we got linebackers to close it out, Justice.
London Fletcher.
There you go. There's
how
one.
many linebackers do I get?
There's two.
2 linebackers. London Fletcher and
big signing in 2003. That's the hint I'll give you.
Big signing. 2003?
Mm-hmm.
And he must have been a good player if you...
Oh, yeah. You can say that.
Am I going to feel stupid if I don't get this?
Well, if you look at the comments section, you might.
See. Now, listen.
Okay.
I love Takeo Spikes. And anytime I think of London Fletcher, I think of Takeo Spikes. So I was going to say Takeo Spikes, but when we were doing our top 100, the vote did not include Takeo Spikes. And I was baffled. I was like, am I mistaken? Like, did I misremember how good Takeo Spikes was? So I kind of just like stayed away from that answer. But no, I'm not tripping. Takeo Spikes was like that. I know, man. All right, I know my look.
Yeah, he sure was. In his first year with the Bills, he was
again.
In his first year with the Bills, he was first team All-Pro.
See, listen, man. I knew it.
When was the last time we had a linebacker that was first team All-Pro?
Never, ever.
Yeah, no, I don't know if there's been one since.
I can't think of one. I can't even think of one that's been good enough except London Fletcher.
Yeah. So
Paul Posluszny had a year, but I don't think he was first team All-Pro. Yeah, see.
There's Posluszny. Yeah. But yeah, no, I had to put Takeo Spikes there. And yeah, he had the Achilles injury, and then he came back, and maybe he wasn't as good after that. But you know, that happens in sports. But at his peak, if I'm getting the peak player at this point to go up against the current Buffalo Bills, Takeo Spikes at his peak is absolutely nasty for this Buffalo Bills team. So that rounds out the defense.
All right. So let's get into a wee bit of trivia. All right, mate.
All right.
Which team was Hall of Fame coach Marv Levy head coach for before the Buffalo Bills?
The Kansas City Chiefs.
Damn, that was quick.
That's
correct.
Yeah. Woo!
All right. In the Bills' second game against the Minnesota Vikings, which player caught the touchdown pass against Drew Bledsoe to win the game in overtime?
Oh my God!
Drew Bledsoe. What?
Against Drew Bledsoe?
I think it's from Drew Bledsoe to win the game in overtime. Your options.
Oh, okay. I get options. I was about to say, you want me to recall? I think that game I was 2. So.
Jay Reamersma, Eric Moulds, Peerless Price, or Josh Reed.
Peerless was great that year. Would it surprise me if he did? That first name you threw out there, I don't even know who that is. So it's probably some like weird trick thing that they did, and a lineman caught it.
Jay Reamersma is like one of the best tight ends in Bills history.
No, he's not on this list. I'll tell you that. Spoiler alert for the offense.
No.
He was not on there.
I think he was on some playoff teams. So.
Yeah. I'll say Peerless.
Listen, my man Daniel will never steer you wrong. You are correct. You got most of the first batch wrong, and you got both of the two I actually right so far. So
let's keep it going.
Keep it going.
See, right. I'm looking this way because my screen's right here. So if I look this way, that means I can't see the people, their answers. So
okay. All right.
So I'm gonna look right at the camera, right at you.
The Buffalo Bills spent the decade of the 2000s in search of a quarterback, and it initially looked like they found one in 2002. What former number 1 draft pick did they sign from the division rival New England Patriots?
It's Drew Bledsoe.
That was easy.
Yeah, that was
easy.
that was a
All right. I'm gonna give you a little bit of a tougher one.
sure.
All right. So you 3 for 3 so far. Which quarterback was the third stringer behind Jim Kelly and Frank Reich? Your options: Todd Collins, Rick Storm, Gail Gilbert, Alex Van Pelt.
Oh, jeez. Todd Collins.
Oh,
no.
Gail Gilbert.
Gail Gilbert. Oh boy. How often? I got to see how many times he saw the field.
Right. Yeah. Gail Gilbert.
I'll tell you.
Right.
I watched almost every single game from the 4 years that.
Look at Daniel. Daniel knew the answer.
Daniel, you're hilarious. Too late, man.
No, because there's like a delay.
Oh yeah, true. True. Dang. So I'm what now? 3-1.
Yep. 3 for 4. Who was the first 1,000-yard rusher in the American Football League that played for the Bills? Your options: O.J. Simpson, Dan Brown, Cookie Gilchrist, Johnny Loose Leg Walker.
I think it's Cookie.
It's Johnny Loose Legs Walker. No, I'm just playing. It's Cookie Gilchrist.
Okay. I was about to say, I don't even know who that is. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you didn't give me options, but I was like, that's hard as hell to just know off rip. So I gave you some options. And
well, I knew.
Look at Daniel.
Wasn't OJ was 2,000, right? Yeah. OJ had 2,000 yards, so
that's why. Yeah, I just had to make up answers.
Yeah,
and I said O.J. Simpson, the right answer, and 2 made up names. So it was kind of like you had the answer.
I kind of knew because I was like, all the old heads are like, no, man, you got to go back and look at Cookie Gilchrist. I'm like, all right.
Yeah. He actually made our list. You made the top 100.
I know he did.
And also. Somebody was in the comment section earlier asking a question. Coach Boom said, I hope Bryce Paup makes the list. He does make the list. So Bryce Paup is on the list.
Also, Daniel out here schooling us up a little bit. Jay Reamer was a tight end, played his rookie deal in Buffalo, then went to the Steelers. Couldn't block. Okay. Didn't even know that.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right, so I believe that was 5, right?
Yeah, that was 5. So I went 4 for 5. I redeemed myself a little bit. Yeah,
you did. Yeah, absolutely.
All right. And it's because I didn't know the guy who probably didn't play one snap for the Bills during that. He probably did. Who knows? Like there was probably a game where Frank Reich was like had the flu or something, and the Bills beat someone so bad, and whatever his name was, I already forgot. Had to come in and take a knee or something.
Was it Gail Gilbert or was he the
Gail Gilbert. Gail Gilbert. All right. So now the offense. Now I feel like here's where we're gonna have some more conversations. Because the defense, there's some real like secure names. Right? And on the offense, there's guys that, they were good, but there's not guys that were great. There's some guys that were great and some guys that I had to leave off the list because they were
other guys were greater.
Yeah. No, not even just that, because they were on the 99 team. So because they were on that team, I had to go with somebody else. So I pulled somebody else up. That guy who was on the outside looking in, maybe some people don't agree with it. I know the big one's going to be quarterback, so I'm going to save that for last. So I'm going to save – we're going to build all the way up, and we're going to save quarterback for last.
Oh, this is going to be controversial.
Yeah, I know some people might be mad. Some people might be happy. I don't know.
No, I don't care what your answer is. Some people will be mad, and some people
Oh, yeah. I'm sure, All right, Justice. We're starting off hard here because – the Bills' right side of their offensive line has never had someone who is just absolutely dominant, at least in the 2000s, right? And it not people that played in the 90s and then finished their career out in the early 2000s. I couldn't put them on the list. It had to be somebody from the years that never made the playoffs. And
can I make an amendment? Can I do
Sure.
2 of the best tackles and 2 of the best guards?
just regardless of what side they played on.
Yeah, especially now because they move them around.
See, you can do that, but I've got the
answers.
list. So I'm gonna tell
All
you.
right, I'll try to guess who you pick. Okay, all right. So for right tackle, I have no idea, no clue, not a clue.
I'm telling you, the right side of the line, you're like these guys were solid, but they weren't like Pro Bowlers. They like I don't think either of these guys have a Pro Bowl to their name.
All right, I can't wait to hear these names. Just give me both right tackle and right guard.
All right, right tackle, Langston Walker.
I remember Langston Walker. I wouldn't have guessed him, but I remember him.
Right guard, Craig Urbick.
Craig Urbick. Oh my God, he was our best right guard.
Yes.
Oh, that's gross.
Yeah, I know the right side of the line.
Shame on everybody from the front office of the 2000s before.
I know,
that's
just
disgusting.
like it was, and they had guys that they tried over in those positions that were not. See, this is where some people are going to disagree because there were so many middling guys at those positions that trying to pick whoever the best one was hard because guess what? There wasn't a lot of guys there that would absolutely like your quarterback. That side of the line, he's going to be running left. Okay. Like he will be running to the left if he has to. I mean, they're solid, but they're not, like some of these other guys that we got on here. Right. So now that we got the right side of the line out of the way, Justice, who do you think the center is? Best center.
That was probably easy. That's kind of like punter, where it's kind of like you really only have one real answer. Eric Wood, of course.
Yeah, and I hate that his career ended with with his neck injury. Like
I hate that his career was. I feel like if the Bills were like a perennial playoff team, Eric would be a Hall of Famer.
There's so many guys that I think that if the Bills just were like in some of those teams that you felt like maybe some of the Fitzpatrick teams that they had some of those teams if they were able to get over the hump and at least get in the playoffs and maybe end the drought earlier, maybe some of these guys are already like, oh yeah, we need to put them up there on the wall, or something like that.
At least the wall. Yeah.
I would even say that Eric Wood could be like, he's kind of one of those Kyle Williams type guys where you're just like the impact that he had on such bad teams. Like, yes, I know, Daniel. Eric Wood was on the team when they broke the drought. I said that was the only playoff team that I would allow players from is the team that broke the drought. So that year, that's why when you see our left guard from the drought years, you're gonna be like, oh, okay, because he was also on that team as well. So Justice,
which is Richie Incognito.
Yeah, Richie Incognito. I put him on there, and I hate the way that.
Bad.
Yeah, and Richie Incognito is what I wish John Feliciano was.
Yeah,
he had that dog in him, but he just couldn't really back it up as much with his play. Like Richie Incognito at least could do that, and then whatever happened at the end with him retiring and then trying to unretire and all that stuff, all that weird stuff. I just got to say, if I want peak level player when they were playing Richie Incognito on the left side of that line, like that's the guy I want over there. I don't know if you know anybody else you can slot over there, but
no. Richie Incognito was my first guess. Yeah. And I mean, Andy Levitre, maybe, but I don't even know if he was on a playoff team or not. So, and Richie Incognito is the guy. And for left tackle, it was probably Jason Peters, right?
It is Jason Peters. And man, that broke my heart. So my little brother was also at the office with me today, and I got this list and I handed it to him. And I'm like, "Here, look at this over." And he goes, "We had Jason Peters," and I'm like, "Yes, we did." He's like, "Didn't he go to the Eagles?" I'm like, "Yeah, we traded him to the Eagles."
There's a couple like studs where you're like, he played for the Bills, like
Yeah,
Jason Peters, Marshawn
he's gonna
Lynch,
be
Robert Woods.
Jason Peters is gonna be a Hall of Famer.
A Hall of Famer for sure.
Yeah,
Absolutely. 1,000,000%.
and we traded him away after like we knew what he was. That wasn't a Wyatt Teller situation where we didn't know what he would become. Like we're the one who transitioned him from being a tight end into a tackle, and yeah,
he took it and ran with it.
Yeah, took it and ran with it. So yeah, that's the offensive line. Now we get into the meat and potatoes, right? The skill position players. Yeah, the skill position players. Again, I love the names that Daniel's thrown in there: Brad Butler, Jeff Hart, Han Gardner, and then also Levitre. Like those, yeah. I mean, there were so many guys that when I was looking through the list, I was like, yeah, but it's like, I had to pick one.
Yeah.
So I had to pick one, and there's like 5 guys looking in on some of these positions on the line. Like especially the right side, there were like probably about like 6 or 7 guys on the outside looking in. So tight end, Justice, no playoff, like no previous playoff tight end that was on to start the beginning of the 2000s. Who do you think's
so?
The list? There's 2 of them.
There's 2 of them. Okay,
yeah, I did too.
I'll go Scott Chandler and Charles Clay.
It's like you looked at my list. Did you look at my list? Can you see it?
No, our players just sucked, so there were very few to choose from.
I feel like we talked about tight ends for. Oh no, because we were talking about Dawson Knox extensions, right? And we were talking about how the Bills were in a tight end purgatory for so long. Like, yes, yeah. Scott Chandler was good. Charles Clay, like we paid him and maybe he wasn't exactly what we wanted him to be, but he was still good. Like, I mean, it's solidified it for me that I didn't want to see Charles Clay in the Bills.
He was the best receiver we had for a while.
Yeah.
And it wasn't his fault the team, sucked, but he also, wasn't that good.
He never really lived up to what the contract was that they gave him. And, it solidified it for me when he dropped that pass from Josh Allen in his rookie year against the Dolphins. And I was like, yeah, Charles Clay, I would much rather move on from you. Like if you're going to be getting paid and be on this team, you need to make that catch. And he doesn't. And, but I still put him on the list because when you look at other tight ends, there was nobody outside of those 2 guys that really, made any impact whatsoever. So definitely had to do that. Wide receivers.
How many?
There's 3 of them. So I did 2 outside guys and an inside guy.
Molds. Oh, wait, Molds made the playoffs.
See, that
Lee Evans. Huh?
Yep. No, see that killed me is because I wanted to I was like, Molds deserves to be on the list. 100% deserves to be on the list. But he was on the 99 team. And I was like, oh man. So I had to pick the next guy that was on the outside looking in.
Lee Evans.
Mm-hmm.
Stevie Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, it gets a little tough there. Oh, who is the 3rd best receiver in the drought? We didn't have very good receivers. That's tough.
And I'll let you know it's not Peerless Price for anybody.
I was kind of thinking that. All right, I'm gonna go. Can you give me a hint what year? Or that's probably too big of a hint.
Yeah, I was gonna give you the year he was drafted, but then I was like, you're gonna know. So Okay, Josh Reed, Daniel says.
No, because if it was Josh Reed, it would have been Peerless Price, I think. I'm gonna say, damn, the Bills have not had very many number one receivers. I am blank. You said an inside guy.
No, well, it doesn't matter. If I was gonna put somebody on the inside, it probably would have been Stevie.
Facts.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good one, Daniel.
Marquise
Yeah,
Goodwin,
I'll go
the track star.
Well, I'm gonna say no now because he said, "Oh yeah." That's obviously not the answer.
Justice, your process of elimination, all the guys in your head right now. You're like, oh, okay, not Josh Reed, not Marquise Goodwin.
All right, yeah, I'm wasting time. Just give it to us.
Well, I'll tell you, it's not Robert Foster. It's not Kelvin Benjamin.
It's Isaiah McKenzie.
Dude, it's Sammy Watkins.
Oh, Sammy!
Sammy, dude.
Jake, I'm literally sitting here thinking, like, who the hell were they throwing the ball to? I was like, I'm racking my brain, like, who was on this team? We had to have better receivers than what I was thinking. Sammy Watkins, of course.
Okay. Rookie year, Sammy Watkins.
Robert Woods, too. Yeah. Damn, man. What was I on?
Yeah, Robert Woods too. Again, another guy that I wish wasn't let go whenever they came in and did the purge of people. Like Sammy Watkins, I didn't care about, but Robert Woods, I was like, oh man, that one hurt. And I still wish we had Bobby Trees on the team, but you know he's not. But yeah,
both them hurt me, and also Darby hurt me to my soul.
Yeah. God, they came in that mass exodus, bro. That was like when McDermott came in. I remember so many people were like, "What are they doing?
Fire this man!"
Yeah, fire him already. And then we made the playoffs. So, you know, that is how it was. And yeah, I put Sammy Watkins in there because I think if you had Lee Evans, rookie Sammy Watkins on the outside, Chris Hogan too. I forgot. Yeah.
Not with the Bills.
Not like Chris Hogan really like he had those kind of like elements to his game. Yeah.
He was Julian Edelman type, but
yeah.
And honestly, he was a deep threat as a Julian Edelman type, but he really got unlocked when he went to New England.
Oh, of course. Yeah. So yeah, I put rookie year Sammy Watkins, Lee Evans, and Stevie Johnson on the inside.
It's disgusting.
Oh my God, that's disgusting. I wonder who's throwing him the ball.
With the drought quarterback, which is going to be. We'll get there. We'll get there, ladies and gentlemen. Stick with us, okay? I think running back up next. Yep.
Running backs.
I'll
let. So this one was kind of hard because there's been some guys, like there have been some guys that are actually like above what I would say in other positions where when I went to tight end, they're like, yeah, they're decent and they're good. Like there have been dudes.
Great running backs, yeah.
Great running backs. You've got your Marshawn Lynch's. It's not him. Like you've got Yeah, it's not Marshawn Lynch because Marshawn really when he left
with the Seahawks.
Yeah. So I'm taking prime when they're on the Bills players. So Marshawn still wasn't bad.
No.
But
he got his claim to fame.
Some of these guys that I have on the list, like their best years in Buffalo are better than Marshawn's. So if you wanted to take a guess, who do you think?
How many?
There's two running backs. So there's an RB1 and an RB2.
I'm going to say one of them is Sean McCoy.
And?
Oh, okay. I feel like it's either Travis Henry or Willis McGahee. So I'm going to say Willis McGahee.
It's Fred Jackson.
Oh my God, Justice, what are you doing?
Now, I like.
How to forget Fred Jackson?
again, there were so many guys, Travis Henry, with CJ Spiller. I forget. Oh, what did he have? Like, he had like 6.6 yards a carry he averaged one season. Like, he was a baller. But no, it's Fred Jackson and LaShawn McCoy.
Yeah.
I put them on there because, like, that dual threat, like, some of these guys, like, if I put a Willis McGahee with a Fred Jackson, it's kind of like, okay, but the threat that I have with Fred Jackson and LaShawn McCoy,
you get the quick, you get the agile, you get the power, you get the leadership, you get the talent, you get the work hard, you get that's perfect.
Yeah. Now, see, you could have gone so many different ways with this, like Daniel, Fred Jackson, and Lynch. Yeah, man. I wanted to put I cannot tell you, I wanted to put Marshawn on this list. Like, I wanted to be like, yeah, I want to claim Marshawn. Yeah, I'm gonna put him on the list. No, man.
No, you were right.
Yeah,
you were right.
I think again, I'm building a team that has to beat the new Buffalo Bills team, the 2022 Buffalo Bills. So, if I'm gonna have these guys, I gotta have guys that can catch out of the backfield and make dudes miss. And I'm not saying those other guys couldn't do it, but Fred Jackson and LaShawn McCoy were two of the best to do it. So now you got to wonder, okay, who's the quarterback? Who's throwing the ball to all these guys? Justice?
How many? Just one?
There's two. I did a QB1 and a QB2.
Okay. Tyrod Taylor and Kyle Orton.
So your QB2 is Tyrod Taylor. Okay. But your QB1
Drew Bledsoe.
Is Drew Bledsoe, baby. I had to. So Drew Bledsoe, again, people are going to say Fitz and Bledsoe.
I was thinking Fitz. Yeah.
And look, I really don't think that you can go wrong putting Fitz in there either. I just think that if I was going to have Bledsoe, if you want to have another quarterback that can maybe be and run some Wildcat stuff, Tyrod is going to be absolutely deadly to have as a QB2. And Bledsoe, just look at the numbers that he put up. Yeah, some of them were empty numbers, and you can say, well, they were losing games, and he put those up. Look, he still put them up, dude. It's kind of like the argument with Dak, right? Where it's like, people are going to be like, he puts up empty yards at the end of games and stuff like that. Yes, Bledsoe had one good year. He made the Pro Bowl, and that's the version of Buffalo. That is the version of Bledsoe I'm taking. So I'm not saying Bledsoe as a whole. I'm saying Bledsoe that best. 1 year, the best version of that player is playing on this team. And Bledsoe the year he set the records that no quarterback touched until Josh Allen came to town.
Okay. So now what about Prime Trent Edwards though? Prime Trent Edwards was a man. Before that concussion, he was a man. He was a baller.
But is his
Tyrod his first year? Well, okay, I got you. I see.
I'm just saying, I compare their peaks, right? Yeah,
Bledsoe's peak is higher.
Yeah. I compare the peaks. I can't believe this is my first ever Bills jersey ever. And again, these are the ugliest jerseys.
Yeah, I have a Peerless Price one of those.
Yeah, but I love this jersey for some reason. Like, I will play with this jersey in Madden. I will do it because there's something like that the Bills tried so hard to be different. And I don't know, man. This is something I wanted to put it up on my wall just as a reminder of, hey, I have a Josh Allen jersey up right there as a reminder that this is where we came from. I mean, if anything, I should put like a JP Lossman jersey or something. But like, yeah, man. So overall, you've heard the list, and I want to get everybody's opinion in the comments, and anybody who's watching too. Let me know where you would have changed things or what. This team altogether, because there are some great dudes on here. There's Hall of Famers on this list. Like, if they go one-on-one with the Buffalo Bills today, do they have what it takes to stop the Buffalo Bills of 2022? Because these are some of the best guys that have played at positions.
Mario Williams, Kaya Williams.
I know
Marcel
that defensive
Darius,
line just makes
Aaron
me...
Schobel. I mean, Gilly and Clements with Bird and Wilson back there. That's a damn good defense.
Don't worry, Coach Boom. Come back next week. We're going to do a list of all-time Sabres. Don't worry. I'm joking. I'm not going to do that.
All right. And then, of course, I think so is this who would win in the game between now
head to
and
head?
all-time?
Head to head.
See, it's
because I feel like
Josh Allen is already working towards being the best Buffalo Bills player of all time. So it's like, all right, he's obviously 2 to 3 times better than any Drought quarterback. He's already probably better than Jim Kelly at this point, right? So Stephon Diggs, if Eric Moulds is there, it's a little closer, but he's a lot better than Lee Evans. You know what I mean? And this is no disrespect to Lee Evans.
Dude, we can go ahead and compare these. Let's compare these guys straight up, go together, right? We'll talk about the current roster and these guys, right? So you're talking about it right now. We got Stephon Diggs. Yeah, all right. He's better than Lee Evans. Let's go over to the other side. Gabe Davis. Is Gabe Davis better than Sammy Watkins that first year? See, that's a little closer. I think Sammy that first year
he was
like a number one. He was like a number one. You know,
he was a number one. And that's the only thing is if Gabriel was given the same targets, I think he would perform. Yeah, at least relatively close. But just for the sake of having done it, I'll give the edge to Sammy Watkins.
All right, and we'll talk about that, Daniel, too, because Von Miller is a big one that I've wanted. But Drought defense, now offense. Oh my God, the Drought defense with now's offense. We're winning every Super Bowl for like the next.
Just give me the Drought defensive line. I don't even need the whole defense. Also, give me Takeo Spikes and London Fletcher.
Sure, yeah. Just give me those guys back there. Yeah, I'll take
them too. Yeah, we'll have Matt Milano and Jermaine play the backup.
All right. So now let's do the slot guy. I put Stevie in the slot, even though he's more, he worked more outside.
No, Stevie in the slot would be absolutely disgusting.
But Stevie in the slot, I think, is better than Jamison Crowder. I mean,
who is checking Stevie in the slot? It's like checking Ocho Cinco in the slot.
If we're going by this game, we've got Taron Johnson on Stevie Johnson.
No,
I'm sorry.
I can't handle Stevie Johnson.
Taron, I've walked back the things that I've said, but
I'm a huge Taron Johnson fan.
I know. I put at his peak Stevie Johnson out there, Mr. Why So Serious Stevie Johnson out there. I'm sorry, Taron. So yeah, I think that they've got the edge there. Now, let's go running backs. Obviously, the Drought team has the edge with running backs because
what is it again?
Fred Jackson and LaShawn McCoy. Yeah, they've got. But the problem is the Drought team really using running backs whenever they have to score prolifically?
That's a good point.
Maybe they don't have to. We'll get to the defense in a minute.
And they can only run to one side of the field.
Yeah, because they're not running towards the right side of the. I'll tell you that right now.
They're not running at Von Miller and Ed Oliver.
Yeah,
no, they're good.
Exactly. And then tight ends. Look, I mean, Are Scott Chandler and Charles Clay together better than what Dawson Knox put on the field last season? I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think they match that type of production.
And now OJ Howard to add to
yeah,
boot?
and
No.
I wasn't even putting OJ Howard in there because I haven't really seen what he's done. And I mean, maybe we can say the same for Von Miller, but assuming that they don't drop off at all from what we've seen.
Yeah, Von Miller has the talent to be better than Scott Chandler. So
yeah. So I'm gonna say that the Bills still have Bills have the edge. You need to get that list out where you do the point for each.
I know.
For each thing like we normally do, so that we can see which team actually wins. So we gave the now team the edge with the quarterback. Running back is actually, I'm gonna write that down. I have this piece of paper here. Why am I not writing this down?
We'll just do points. So
yeah,
quarterback, now team wins. Running back, old team wins. Wide receiver,
old team wins.
Who's the third? Oh, Stevie. Jesus.
Stevie,
Lord.
yeah.
Old team wins. Old team wins by a landslide there. All right, tight ends, now team wins. Are we doing offensive line?
Yeah, we can do offensive line because I think it's kind of hard to do that because
Spencer Brown is better than whoever the hell was said for
Langston Walker.
Yeah. Who is our right guard right now? That would be Saffold?
Our right guard would probably be Ryan Bates. Better than Craig Urbick. I would
based
say,
off of what Ryan Bates did last season, I don't think Craig Urbick has ever come in and did that in his life. So I'm gonna go with the now team. Center.
Tell me how many points each team has so I can write it down here.
So right now the now team is 4 and the Drought team is 3. We're at center. So right now we're moving to left guard, which would be Saffold versus Incognito. That's Drought team. So now it's 4-4. Left tackle, Deion Dawkins versus Jason Peters. Oh, Jason Peters got that.
Yeah, it's Jason Peters is a
Drought team came back with a they came back with the or they made the comeback, I guess you should say.
Yeah, so now
but I think
it's 4-5.
Yeah. But I think Josh Allen makes up like 6 or 7 points. So
all right, so so now we've got 5, 2, 4. Now we're gonna go to the defense. Our defensive ends.
Well, the defensive line, all 4 points should just go to the whole team. Just because we don't know what our defensive line is going to do yet.
Exactly. And we've got Gregory Rousseau, a second-year guy out there. And, now we've got Daquan Jones. We've never really had another solid defensive tackle next to Ed Oliver has been able to stay there consistently. So that point has to go to the Drought team. So now there's
2 points also goes to the Drought team for linebackers.
True. Yep. That's also the case.
Then 1 point goes to the Drought team for corners.
Yep.
And then the now team gets both safeties.
Yep. So that would be how many points? Because that's 2 safeties. So that would be 8-6 at this point. So now we're at a point where it's like, okay, this defensive line is going to be coming at Josh Allen.
Mm-hmm.
This defensive line from the Drought, they are probably making Josh Allen's day pretty hard. I know we have a solid offensive line, but we got dudes on the these are all peak dudes right now. Now you got to ask, do you think that Stephon Diggs is good enough to get open quick versus Stephon Gilmore? Do you think Gabe Davis is good enough to get open quick versus Nate Clements? Yeah.
Do you think Dawson Knox can get open quick versus London Fletcher? Yeah, I don't know. The Drought Bills might win that one.
Yeah,
but then again, I don't trust Drew Bledsoe nor Tyrod to do anything versus the Bills' current defense, like anything at all.
Mm-hmm.
So, but you got Lee Evans, Stevie Johnson.
That's what I'm saying with some, and don't get me wrong, like Bledsoe had weapons that year. He had Molds, he had Peerless Price, and he had Josh Reed. Like, those guys aren't slouches, and he put up big numbers. He had, what was it, 4,200 yards he threw for that year. Like, it was ridiculous. So, like, I still think that Drew Bledsoe, I still believe was good enough at that point to truly command an offense. And I think with even better weapons and, you know, some reasonable tight ends and a defense that is absolutely smothering.
Now, but you also have to consider that the right side of his line is a liability. And if you have Ed Oliver, and, you know, you could put Von Miller over there to make it easier, but either way, I feel like Ed Oliver or Gregory Rousseau should probably do very well and be making his day, you know, hell. And I think Von Miller can do enough on Jason Peters. Like, he can, you know, he can create some pressure.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the same problem both ways.
I'm reading Daniel here. All due respect to Tyrod, but he got the Bills 3 points in his only. I know.
So
Daniel,
that's fair, but please look at who the hell Tyrod had to throw the ball to in that game. Just saying.
Yeah, it's again. I think again, people, and we've seen it on Twitter. Justice, I did the poll about a couple weeks ago. Justice,
you started this, Jake.
Yeah, and then you put the photo or the video out of Tyrod.
I literally just put a video of Tyrod throwing a touchdown pass, and people
and
lost
then
their
you
minds,
put the video of Fitz out, and like
nobody said a word, yo.
There is some weird. You know what was funny? I saw you did that, and I was like, I'm gonna put a video out of Drew Bledsoe throwing like let's see. Nobody's gonna talk bad about Drew Bledsoe. Yeah,
bro, it's like what? Only Tyrod.
I think, and you know, we did the trivia and we've done the team. Let's talk about it, right? Why do you think there's this stigma for Tyrod? I understand there were some people, and I think a lot of it has to stem from, you know, a lot of people really wanted him to be the guy, and some people thought he was going to be the guy, and I think he had the ability to be that guy. But I feel like he was handicapped. And I think a lot of people, like, just by coaching and wanting him to play it safe, and that's kind of what they did. And I feel like a lot of people seem to think check down Tyrod is because Tyrod wanted to check the ball down. Would you agree?
I think it's a little of both. I do think his confidence was lacking. I'm not here to tell you that Tyrod was a great quarterback. I am simply saying that the disrespect that y'all have for Tyrod is absolutely unnecessary. All right. I'm talking about Bills Mafia as a whole.
Yeah, we're not going towards you, Daniel. You just
not at Daniel.
A lot of people.
I'm just saying, like, overall, Bills Mafia, the disrespect that people have for him is absolutely it's like unnecessary.
It's weird.
It's like
it's really weird. It's very
like anytime you mention Tyrod Taylor, people automatically come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, Tyrod, you know, he didn't do this, and you know, he was so timid, he didn't want to throw the ball. And I get it, because yes, it frustrated me at the time as well. But Ryan Fitzpatrick also frustrated me when he was throwing 3 interceptions a game. Like, but you don't see people saying, you know, when Ryan Fitzpatrick, you know, gets talked about, oh man, he was so turnover worthy and da 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 da. You don't really see people saying, you know, oh, EJ Manuel was da da. Like, and honestly, EJ Manuel don't really even get any love from Bills fans, but Ryan Fitzpatrick gets love. You know, there's other Bills quarterbacks that get love, but it seems like Tyrod, anytime, it's always like a hot button issue, and I do not understand why. Like, no matter how you felt about Tyrod at the time, he is now an ex-Bills quarterback. Just like Ryan Fitzpatrick is an ex-Bills quarterback. We don't have to sit here and disrespect him forever. Like, you don't talk about Kyle Williams, you know, throwing an interception at a crucial time. Or, I'm sorry, Kyle Orton.
That was who I was going to bring up.
Yeah, like,
it's
you don't talk about that. You just be like, oh man, when we had Kyle Orton, we almost made the playoffs. It's like,
Mm.
okay, but we did make the playoffs
Yeah.
in Tyrod, and y'all still mad at him. Like, I don't
Yeah,
get it.
yeah. We almost made the playoffs with a lot of quarterbacks.
Right.
But that was because we had really good defenses and the offenses couldn't really do anything. Like
Yeah.
that's like, and Tyrod, again, I'm not gonna sit here and say I was the biggest Tyrod fan because
Me neither.
Yeah,
When Tyrod was traded, I was like, okay, I'm not mad at it, especially getting back basically a second round pick. I was like, hell yeah. All right. I'm not sitting here saying that Tyrod should be the starting quarterback. I'm saying that Tyrod was our quarterback. We should appreciate what he brought to the team, just like we do with every other quarterback. It's like, I don't even get it. I really don't understand it.
I appreciate his dual threat ability that he had that a lot of other quarterbacks that we had did not have.
And then if you're going to have a argument, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, that's fine.
If you're going to have a debate against Tyrod Taylor, you got to come with more facts than he was captain check down and that, because context now matters, bro. He got all of his weapons taken away from him. Like, what do you want him to do with that? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Like that last year, he was not supposed to be successful at all.
No, at all.
They benched him that year for Nate Peterman,
who then embarrassed them on TV.
And then Tyrod then came back out, and then
consummate professional, and make them make the playoffs.
And Tyrod Taylor, I think if he had better coaching that wanted him to use the skill set that he had, because I'm not gonna say it, they were scared to let Tyrod just go out there and beat. Just look at what Tyrod Taylor is now. Look what he did with Houston before he got hurt.
Yeah.
That was Tyrod Taylor. Just basically at this point, it feels like Tyrod Taylor was like, I don't care anymore. I keep going to these teams. I'm gonna let it fly, and he was great before he then gets hurt, and then Davis Mills has to go in, and then that Tyrod Taylor's always had that ability. He's just never felt that he had the confidence and the team had the confidence in him to fully let him unleash that skill set.
They never put a team that was made for it never put a team that was tailor made for Tyrod Taylor, no pun intended, around him. And I mean, it's fair because he was like a 5th round, 6th round pick or something like that. He came, he was like that's okay. You don't want to put millions of dollars in resources around a guy who you don't even know is your guy. That's fair. And I'm not even mad at that.
But at least push him.
It's a fact. You know what I mean? And I feel like I said this before, but if you took exactly who Tyrod Taylor was, you turned him into a 20-year-old and you made him play college football this season coming up, and he included for the draft next year, he'd be a 1st round pick.
And what are they going to do? They're going to be like, look at the arm strength, look at his dual threat ability,
look at the ball accuracy.
He's
the leadership. He doesn't turn the ball over. You would say
look at his touchdown to interception ratio.
Exactly.
It's weird. It's weird. And I think a lot of it had to do with the expectations that people had for those teams as well.
Maybe,
with Rex Ryan coming in.
But don't hold it over him forever, bro. That's weird. Stop doing that, y'all.
It's very weird that people really dump on Tyrod, and then with Fitz, it's like, dude, Fitz had a lot of moments too that made you go, wow.
Fitz played great, got paid, and then played terribly. Nobody talks about that.
And nobody talks about that. So I also liked your reply that you did, and apparently so did Steve Tasker. But I liked the reply, and it was like, all right, what quarterback, if they were given the Sean McDermott, do you think? I really liked your Cardale Jones answer, because I was a huge advocate for Cardale Jones. I was so happy when we got him. I was like, look, this guy, if we need
Cardale
to replace
Jones, he's the prime example of what can happen if you come out of college at the wrong time.
Yep.
If Cardale Jones would have played one more season, he would have been a 1st round pick.
100%. And I think there's a lot of quarterbacks that we had throughout the drought that suffered from bad team management and subpar
Bad
coaching.
coaching.
Yeah. Subpar coaching. I think I don't know if you could really coach the Fitzpatrick out of Fitzpatrick, but I feel like because at that point, a lot of the guys that we drafted, Fitzpatrick, he had been around and then we had got him. But like guys like Tyrod, guys like Cardale Jones, maybe guys like EJ Manuel, maybe those guys, if maybe a lot of what has to do with Josh Allen is what he does for himself. Because it's not like the coaching staff sits there and babies him. He goes out and he goes and
I
does.
100% think Josh Allen is a hard worker and that his exponential growth is a result of Josh Allen being Josh Allen. However,
I think
like there's still a healthy environment around him that would have been beneficial to other players. That's all.
Yeah. And the weird thing is, those teams were so mediocre for so long. Every single season you went into it, is this going to be the year that they're going to finally get over the hump? Those coaching staffs were always on thin ice because it's like we were one of those teams that was like, hey, we're not the New England Patriots. We need to you need to build a winner, beat the Patriots, build that. And these teams, they made terrible decisions. Doug Whaley, did not know how to structure a contract to save his life. And there was just
at least
so
it
many.
Look like it now that we got a genius in
Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, when you go back and look at some of those contracts, you're like, oh my God. And yeah, a lot of it has to do with, now we have a team that people want to come and they'll take those structured deals that are, able to maneuver you a little bit more. Back then, you just had to pay people just to get them to come to Buffalo.
Yep.
But yeah, man, just to circle it back around to Tyrod, I do not understand why people look at Tyrod Taylor and they're just like, well, let me point out all the flaws in Tyrod Taylor. When it's like, all right, well, let me point out all the flaws in Trent Edwards. Let me point out all the flaws in EJ Manuel. If that's going to be your energy, do that for every single middling quarterback the Bills had since Drew Bledsoe. And don't praise one guy and then shit on another guy. Don't do it.
Especially when the other guy was one of the best quarterbacks in the team's history and definitely one of the best quarterbacks during the drought. So put respect on the boy.
Here, we'll say put some respect on Tyrod Taylor's name.
Absolutely.
Put it on it, because Tyrod, again, and it's not like Tyrod said anything bad about Buffalo too after his time here, man. Tyrod, there were fans that really loved him, but for some reason there were fans that really hate him, and I'm not going to make assumptions for anything, but it was very weird, and I don't understand it. And that hatred is still there for some reason when it's like he's not on the team anymore. It's very obvious that he was handicapped in some ways by the organization as a whole. And yet you still want to put all the blame on him when it's like he still was the quarterback that contributed to breaking the drought. So there are games in that span where I've said before, and you've heard me, I've explained it before, that I don't think Tyrod was the number one reason why we broke the drought. Again, I think that team is just another middling team that messes the playoffs if we don't have divine intervention and we finally get the situation that backed us into the playoffs. But he still contributed enough that season, even after being benched, to get us there and to get us in that position to be able to back in. So for that, you have to give him some respect still.
Absolutely. So hashtag respect Tyrod.
Hashtag stop shitting on Tyrod. We're done with it.
So I don't know, guys. Let us know who you guys think would win. The Drought Bills or the Now Bills, because that's a damn good matchup. Actually, I would love to watch that football game. We might have to, turn that into a Madden simulation or something.
Don't give me the idea. I might do it. The bye week. We'll do it on the bye week.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with that. But all right, before we get out of here, let's do a little bit more trivia.
Oh yeah.
All right.
That's a great idea to put it in Madden and Sim and see who went. I really feel like the Drought Bills would come. And I would change their uniforms to be the. Oh yeah, dude, we're doing that.
All right, I'm with it. Let's do it.
Yeah, we're gonna do that.
All right. Which defensive player led the Bills in total tackles in 2002? This player had 149 tackles in his first year with the Buffalo Bills. Coy Wire, Pat Williams, Pearson Prelo. Oh, Pearson Prelo. That is a name. I have not heard that in so long.
Seeing Pearson your face light up when you said that, bro. Like
right.
You saw his name, you're like, oh.
At first I couldn't pronounce it. I was like, what the hell is that? But I remember that name. Or London Fletcher. Pat Williams, Coy Wire, Pearson Prelo, or London Fletcher.
In 02?
02.
I think it's London Fletcher.
You are absolutely correct, Mr. Jake Jordan.
Because when I was doing my research, London Fletcher, his numbers, even though they steadily went down every year since 02, they were still above 100. Except I think the last year, it was like in the high 90s for his tackles.
All right. I was going to give you this one, but this one's easy, so I'm not going to give it to you.
Oh, okay. I appreciate that.
Just for this doesn't count, but I just want to let you guys know how easy this was. Who was the quarterback that led the Bills to the biggest comeback in NFL history?
I mean, come on.
Yeah,
it's Frank Reich.
Exactly.
Come on.
Exactly. All right. Eric Moles was the Buffalo Bills' top receiver during the first half of the 2000s. Which 2004 first-round draft pick was the Bills' main receiver of the remaining years of the decade? Right? We got Marcus Easley, Lee Evans, Terrell Owens, or Andre Johnson.
It's Lee Evans.
That was the stupidest options.
T.O. was here for 1 year.
Like Andre Johnson and T.O. weren't even drafted by the Bills, and Marcus Easley was like a no.
Yeah, dude, that was another easy one. That don't count.
All right. Okay, cool. In the Bills' first 4 Super Bowls, how many coin tosses did they win?
Oh. Okay. Well, none of them went to overtime, so there's only one. I've literally watched all 4 of these Super Bowls. Two.
Get the hell out of here. That was a hell of a guess.
Did I get it?
That was a hell of a guess. Yes,
all right. Look at that. 2. Because I'm trying to... It would be even harder if you asked me which ones did they win and which ones did they lose.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. All right. Which member of the quarterback class of 83 was... No, that's stupid. Okay, so I see they just give you trivia questions, and some of them happen to be about the Buffalo Bills.
Oh, okay.
All right. What position did Butch Bird play for the Bills from 1964 to 1970?
Butch Bird. He's a safety.
Oh.
Is he a safety or a corner?
I'm gonna give it to you. Yeah. So I've anything I've read about him was at corner, but it says defensive back. So I'll give it to you. All right, so you 2-2.
Dope.
The Bills were stricken with an unlucky streak of injuries to their valuable players. They also had a league-leading 17 men on injured reserve at the season's end. Which of the following players wasn't injured in the 2007 season and played all 16 games? Damn, man, we were so unlucky back then, bro. All right, your options: Peerless Price, Marshawn Lynch, Paul Puslesny, John DiGiorgio.
It's probably Peerless, and he was just getting migraines. Not he was still playing the games.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
They got the same last name.
Oh, pretty cool. Thank you, Daniel. I missed you, Daniel. Where have you been?
Daniel, do you happen to know if Butch Bird played any time at safety? Just so I can know if that was, or was he just strictly full on corner? Because I know
and don't ever leave us again, Daniel.
Yeah.
Okay. Lee Evans was the biggest dominance for the Buffalo Bills offense in 2006. He also had 2 83-yard catches and caught 82 passes. How many touchdowns did he have?
I don't get a multiple choice for this, do I?
I'll give you multiple choice.
Okay.
12, 7, 11, or 8.
8.
Get the hell out of here, Jake. You're cheating.
How am I cheating?
See, I was looking at your glasses.
Here's my glasses.
I was looking at your glasses to see if you was typing anything. You didn't type anything in. So I'll give it to you.
I'm just
but
thinking.
I don't know how the hell you got that right. But that was a good one. Good one. Very good. All right. You're what, 3 or 4?
Yeah.
All right. Drew Bledsoe threw 4 touchdown passes in a game once in 2002. What was the team he did it against? Was it the Chicago Bears, the Miami Dolphins, Minnesota Vikings, or Cincinnati Bengals?
This is definitely just a crapshoot. What I'm answering here, I literally have no idea. You'd find it very hard to go back and actually find any games from those seasons. What were the question, or what were the answers one more time, if you even remember?
Chicago Bears, Miami Dolphins, Vikings, or Bengals?
Let's see. I have an NFL Cup here. Whatever team I see first, I'm going to. Oh, great. There's 2 here. I'm gonna flip a coin. It's either the Bears or the Vikings.
It is one of those 2 teams.
I don't have a coin. So what
I got a coin.
All right, flip it. Heads, I say Bears. Tails, it's Vikings.
It's tails.
Okay, so the Minnesota Vikings is my final answer.
It was the Bears.
Damn it! Oh man!
I thought you would catch on to the disappointed look on my face when I saw when I seen tails.
I wasn't looking at the screen. I was just hoping you were going to say you're right.
All right. That was your last question, but we're going to do one more just for good measure.
Sure.
Just to celebrate our time that you guys have spent with us these last 90 minutes, right?
Yeah.
The Buffalo Bills used a 2001 second round draft pick to select a running back who had an impressive but short career with the Bills. Which former Tennessee Volunteer and future convicted felon was the Bills' dominant running back until 2004? Morris Claret, Lawrence Phillips, Travis Henry, or Cedric Benson?
Was Travis Henry a convicted felon? I'm going to say Travis Henry, but
I had no clue.
I'm going to look this up now. Clue. Why? What happened to Travis Henry? Why is he in prison?
No clue.
Henry prison. Let's see. Former Bill star Travis Henry went from being suspended for marijuana to going to jail for trafficking cocaine.
Okay. Those are two very different things. I was about to say, you went to for a little marijuana, and then I was like, oh my God.
He went to the hard stuff, dude. Oh my God. That
Travis,
was not...
Bro, Travis, it's in the NFL, bro. What are you doing? Yo, that's crazy.
A federal judge Wednesday, this is in 2009. A federal judge Wednesday sentenced former NFL player Travis Henry to 3 years in prison for financing a drug ring that trafficked cocaine. Oh my God, dude. He was playing Scarface out here.
Lord, he took that NFL money and tried to flip it.
Oh my God. Yeah, he did.
That's crazy. Wow.
That's called investing. There you go.
That's what that is.
That's a good investment, right?
Right.
Oh man.
But yes. Yeah, thank you guys. We appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with us tonight. You guys know we appreciate every single like, comment, subscription, retweet, repost, share, everything you guys do for us. We appreciate we do it all for you guys. Make sure you tune into the Lowdown podcast every single Friday. Make sure you tune into Justice for All. That's every single Tuesday night at 9. We also tune into the Bull fan base Madden Simulation 2022-2023 regular season. We have that. This week we have the Bills versus the Steelers.
The Pittsburgh Steelers.
We will be bringing that to you guys Sunday at 1 p.m. as we always do every single week up until week 1 of the regular season. So you got something to look forward to. You know, every single week you got something to look forward to until the Buffalo Bills play. And I feel like I feel like we're dope for that.
And make sure to slap that like button. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button so that you and you know what? You see the little bell next to that subscribe button? Smack that bell too, so that every single time we're going to go live, we post a video, you see all of it. And make sure you keep tuning into those Madden casts, because now that we know during the bye week, we're going to get the drought era Bills versus the current Buffalo Bills team. And oh my God, that is going to be the best. Like, it's going to take me probably a week to create that roster, because I'm going to have to go and pool old overalls and stuff. But it's going to, that is going to be awesome.
Totally worth it. Totally worth it.
Totally worth it.
Just to give you guys a little glimpse of, you know, look, Josh Allen's season so far in Madden cast. All right, I'm going to give you a little glimpse of his numbers, okay? He's 125 for 158. All right. Jake, while I'm reading off these numbers, do you mind giving me the percentage of that? He is 125.
I don't have my phone. Oh, there's my phone. Sorry, it was on.
Okay.
All right.
125 divided by 158. He is 125 for 158. He has 1,680 yards passing. He's 14 passing touchdowns, 4 rushing touchdowns, 4 interceptions, and this is through 4 weeks of play, ladies and gentlemen. So what's the completion percentage?
Has a 79% completion percentage.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh, wow. Ladies and gentlemen, you got to tune in. He is putting on a show out there. And the last 2 weeks have actually been very close. The Dolphins had a chance. They came back. It was a 1-score game. The Ravens also had a chance, but they just blew it at the end. They just blew it. But they had an opportunity. So it's not like, you know, we're out here just blowing teams away with the Bills. And you know, there are actually some very good games.
First couple of weeks, but now we're getting some good games, and I think the Steelers are going to be a really good one.
Be a good game. Yeah, I don't know how high the score will be. I know we scored 50 points in the first 3 games. His last games, I don't think we did. I don't even think we touched 40. So we'll see what happens versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. But again, I'm Justice Radford. That's my man, Jake Jordan. We will see you guys Sunday. So tune in for the Bills Madden cast, and we'll see you guys later. Go Bills.
Go Bills.
Oh, wait. This is the official network of the original.